Hi guys and welcome to the Nouveau Riche Podcast. So today, another one. I'm in a good mood today, I don't know why. But another one, what's it called? Managing Oneself, Peter F. Drucker. Great one. It's a short one. It's a 72-page book. Packed with value. Appreciate the support on the last episode, by the way. There were people actually listening to the show. So that was fucking nice. I didn't expect that. I was like, a few people are gonna check it out for a few minutes, but there were people who actually listened to it. So thank you so much for that. This book, it's on the number one spot of the Tai Lopez's all-time book list. So that's a positive thing, I think. Let's get it right in, man. So in the introduction, the author says that history's great achievers have always managed themselves. That in large measures make them great achievers. This book gives you the guidelines to become a great achiever. So let's get right in. The first I forgot the name. The first chapter. That was it. Chapter. The first chapter. What are my strengths? So it starts off with one cannot build performance on weaknesses, let alone on something one cannot do at all. The only way to discover your strengths is through feedback analysis. Whenever you make a key decision or take a key action, write down what you expect will happen, and after a certain period of time, compare the actual results with your expectations. Practiced consistently, the simple method will show you where your strengths lie, and this, the author says, is the most important thing to know. It will show you what you are doing or failing to do that deprives you and the full benefit of your strengths. It will show you where you are not particularly competent, and finally it will show you where you have no strengths and cannot perform. So he's damn right. It's super important to know what you do, what you're good at and what you're not good at, and he'll tell you why in a second. So another thing he says in this chapter is when you know where your strengths lie, concentrate on those and only on those. Outsource what you can do, and you can be more productive. Another thing, you need to work on improving the strengths you discovered you're good at. So through this, you can become a specialist on this field. Third, discover where your intellectual arrogance is causing disabling ignorance and overcome it. Far too many people, especially people who have great expertise in one area, lack knowledge in other areas or believe that being bright is a substitute for knowledge. You can't be stupid about certain things because you think you know what's important. Another one. It's pure logic. I don't know why I think of these things. I don't know why you have to read a fucking book and discover things that I'm like, yeah, why didn't I know this like 10 years ago? Because this is such common sense, but they don't teach you this shit. I don't know. My parents didn't. Well, yeah, they kind of did, but they didn't put it this straightforward. So I don't know, man. Comparing your expectations with your results will also indicate what not to do. We all have a vast number of areas in which we have no talent or skill and little chance of becoming good at it. I'm not saying you should drop something if you really want it, but you're really let's say you're really bad at writing or something. Like it's not of any value to you. You won't get closer to your goals when you can type. So like outsource this shit. Focus on what's important to you, so you can do the things that will get you closer to your goals. You know, like myself, I really don't like planning. Like I'm fucking bad with planning. So what I do, I have a VA and she works for like really cheap, but she's okay with it. I pay her like $3 an hour. Whoa, it's super cheap. But she plans like all my appointments for me, so I don't have to worry about that, and I can spend my time on shit that is important to me. So she does all my appointments. I just tell her what I have in the next week. She plans it all for me. So that's great. Second chapter, how do I perform? Like one's strengths, how one performs is unique. It's a matter of personality, whether personality be a matter of nature or nurture. It surely is formed long before a person goes to work. And how a person performs is given, just as what a person is good at or not good at is given. A person's way of performing can be slightly modified, but it's unlikely to one. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm recording this one in one cut actually. Last one I spent like 1 hour to did 30 minutes of recording. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna waste my time. This is me. Purely. I'm authentic here so. That's Dutch. Whoa. You see? I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm real with you guys. What was I saying? I was saying something. I see it. A person's way of performing can be slightly modified, but it's unlikely to one completely change. Weird sentence. I don't agree with this. I think everything you do is a result of your mindset and not because of your parents. Like, it's not in your genes. I think that's true. But I can be wrong, of course. I understand what he's saying, but yeah. Alright. Another thing in this chapter, he says, he continues by saying that a few personality traits usually determine how a person performs. 1. The first thing to know is whether you are a reader or a listener. Few listeners can be made, and they can't make themselves into competent readers, and vice versa. So this is really important in learning new shit, because, when I read something, I myself like to, well, I don't like it, but I like it a little bit. Like right now, I read a book, and then I was like, interesting shit. Now I'm recording it, I'm telling you about it, so through that, I'm kind of explaining it to someone else. That's my learning curve, So you gotta find out your learning curve yourself. On a more serious note, I'm gonna calm down now. I'm sorry, we got to a serious note. Another thing he says: am I a reader or a listener, and how do I learn? Are the first important questions to ask. You also need to ask yourself: do I work well with people, or am I a loner? And if you work well with people, you also need to ask yourself in what form of relationship, etc., etc., etc. Another important question: do I produce results as a decision maker or as an advisor? So a lot of people can take the heat from making the decisions themselves. That's the reason why the number 2 in an organization often fails when promoted to the number 1 position. The top spot requires decision making. Damn right. It's important to know this stuff. You gotta become self-aware on a certain level where you're like, yeah, I know what I want. I know what I can do. This is me. Through that, you can become the best version of yourself. 2 other questions: do I perform well under stress, or do I need a highly structured and predictable environment? And 2, do I work best in a big organization or in a small one? So I noted here, most important to take away from the bullshit I just told you: be self-aware, know yourself, get to know yourself. Spend time becoming more self-aware, because through this you will just be more productive. Like, for example, let me take a little quick sip right here, because my voice is fucking up. Alright, let's say you don't like people. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't like people, but let's say you don't like people. You can't work with people if you don't like people. You gotta be authentic. You gotta be real with yourself, and you gotta be real with other people. So you can't do that. You can't work with other people if you don't like them. So you gotta be working at your home or whatever, but don't be fucking up other people, their energy and their time, because you don't like working with other people. You gotta put yourself in an environment where you're how do you say that? You're producing results and you don't fuck up other people's energy and time. That's really important to take away from this. 3rd chapter: what are my values? So, to be able to manage yourself, you have to ask yourself what your values are. Organizations have values, just like people have values. So, to be effective in an organization, your values my pronunciation is fucked up sometimes. Just take it, man. Your values must be compatible with the organization's values. Otherwise, the person will not only be frustrated, but also will not produce results. So, like I said a little above, I think the same is true with relationships. When two people don't have the same values and principles, a relationship cannot exist. It cannot work out. There is some kind of chemistry that has to go on where you're like, just your belief system and your paradigms, I guess, need to be some sort of in line. You, of course, not completely, because that will get boring, but you cannot completely different. Well, your mindset cannot be completely different from another person you're like dating or your friend or whatever, because it won't work out. It will become toxic after a short period of time. So, at which chapter are we? 4, right? Yeah, 4. Where do I belong? Most people do not really know where they belong and what they want to do in life. You can find this out by asking yourself the following 3 questions. What are my strengths? How do I perform? And what are my values? The ones I covered above. When you know this, you can decide where you belong and where you definitely do not belong. When you know all this, you can say yes to good opportunities and no to the bad ones. I know what I want. I know where I want to be. I'm still young, but I think I kind of know this stuff. Maybe in a few years, my whole mindset has changed. I hope it does. I hope I evolve. I develop in some kind of way. But I'm kind of certain of the things I want to do. So I'm not going to say yes to, I don't know, becoming a golfer or someone. Like a professional golfer. That's not where my... I don't know why I said golfer. It can be anything, but I know what I want to do and I know what I do not want to do. So the things you're doing have to be in line with your goals. And when you reach that point of self-awareness where you're like, I know what I want, I know what I don't want, this is me, this is where I want to be, this is the road I'm traveling. You know, that's really important, because you can like I said, you can outsource the shit that is not important to you, and you can say no to so much things, and that just is a good feeling. Saying no when you know, like, that's the right thing to do. Chapter after that one, not important. Chapter after that one, responsibility for relationships. That's a good one. Managing yourself requires taking responsibility for relationships. You gotta accept the fact that other people are as much individuals as you yourself are. They too have their own strengths, values, and their own way of getting things done. So this one really is important, because without the realization, you can't form a good team with someone. So my mom, this really is, she always says, you gotta let people do the things they're good at. So, like I said, this is true. The only way you can be effective as a leader is letting people do the things they're really good at. Otherwise, they won't enjoy it, they won't be productive. That just doesn't work. So you respect people, and respect people. Let them do what they're good at. And when you're an employee, take the initiative. When your boss doesn't ask you where your strengths and weaknesses are, go to him and just tell him, like, I'm good at this, I'm really not good at this. Like, I can't make presentations or something. This is a simple thing that comes up in my mind. I can't do that. He will respect you for saying that, because he, when he gives you a task to do a presentation, for example, you will fuck it up, or it will take so much time, and that's not good for him or his business. So take the initiative, go to him, tell what you're good at, he will appreciate it. And like I said, when you're a leader, when you're a manager, when you're a boss, whatever, ask your employees, where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses? Bang. Last chapter, he talks, the author, Peter Drucker, nice name. It's called the last chapter, the second half of your life. He talks a lot about starting a second career and second hobby and all of that. But I think he makes it a little too complicated. The only real thing to know about switching from careers or finding new hobbies is you just this you're gonna hate me for this. Just do it. When you're 15, like I am, when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 70, just do the shit you want to do. Even when you have like a family or things you need to pay for, like just do it. You don't want to be in a position when you're 80 or you don't know when. Maybe you're 30 and you get some really bad disease or something. You don't want to be on your like the last few minutes of your life. You don't want to ask yourself, what if I did the things I want to do? What if maybe I wouldn't be sick right now because I had more money for better healthcare or something. You know? You don't want to be asking yourself the questions. What if I ask this girl out? What if I started this hobby? What if I started that business? You don't want to ask yourself that. So I'm so blessed that I'm in a position and my friends are in a position where we have this realization right now. And I'm so blessed you are listening, whatever your age is, whatever position you're in, it doesn't matter. I'm so blessed you're listening to this right now and can really think about this. You don't want to ask yourself when you're dying, what if I did it? What if I did the thing I want to do? You know, life is fucking short. I shouldn't be saying this because I'm too young to say this. A lot of people are gonna laugh at me. But life is fucking short. And you don't want to be wasting it on bullshit. So that was the major lesson from this book, I think, for me personally. Yeah, that's just it, man. I hope you liked this one. It was a short one. Let me know if you liked the short one or the last episode. It was like 35 minutes. Let me know if you like this one or the other one better. Because I can imagine 35 minutes is a little too long. Last thing we need to know. Giveaway. Last one, the 10x rule, Grant Cardone. I gave it away. I sent someone a DM. Someone who... what did he do? Yes. He posted a comment on one of my last posts on Instagram. Do that if you want to win a copy of this book, Managing Oneself, Peter F. Drucker. Just send me a message. Link will be in the description. It's on Instagram. It's @LuckyQuinn3, but you will find it in the description. That's all I have to say for today. I really, like I said, once again, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really appreciate the support. Even if there are like 10 people listening, if I can impact 10 people's lives positively, I'm good, you know. I'm just doing my thing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode. Wednesday, whoa, my pronunciation. I recorded this. I'm proud of myself. I recorded this in one cut. That's a milestone for me. Next Wednesday is the pronunciation. Wednesday, my first interview with someone, with a major player is dropping. Check that out. Stay tuned for that. Like I said, once again, thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something today. Destroy your day wherever you are. I see you in the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, by the way, I was so in my own head and talking that I forgot to mention this. If you want to win the book, you gotta comment under my last post why you want to win the book. Because otherwise I won't know you want to win the book. That's important. Alright, last time. Thank you. Bye bye.